Hello, I'm Helen. Welcome to the story of my journey of discovery with ADD. A year ago, my grandson was diagnosed with autism, and as I researched about autism for his sake, I discovered that my story is on the autistic spectrum too, as I have symptoms of attention deficit disorder. If anyone had told me a year ago that I was on the autistic spectrum, I would have been most upset. But having discovered what ADD is and how I've been affected by it all my life, I find the diagnosis an immense relief. 50 years of guilt have rolled off my back, and I can't tell you how excited I am to discover a new basis on which to operate. Having self-diagnosed through what I've been reading, I was determined to get a proper diagnosis, and eventually I found my way to the psychology department at the university, and they were able to help me there by running a battery of tests and also to eliminate the possibility that my problems were depression. In the past, I had been extremely intimidated by intelligence tests. I well remember them from primary school. But this time it was much more fun because I knew that even the wrong answers were helping with the diagnosis. At the end of the testing, I was indeed confirmed as a sufferer of ADD. When I was 8, my desk mate, Mary Hart, and I had nicknames from our teacher. Mary was Go Slow, and I was Stop. My teacher was very concerned about me and wrote a note home, but as she asked me to deliver it, it never got there because I was rather afraid of what it might say and that I might be in trouble if I were to deliver it at home. But of course, parent-teacher interviews eventually revealed all. And as a result of that, my mother organised for me to see a psychiatrist who put me through a battery of tests. And I have to say I was terrified of the outcome. I was afraid of failing. I didn't know what this would reveal. My own mother, my mother herself had bipolar, and that disrupted our family no end at different times. And I was afraid that in failing the tests, I might have to go to hospital like she would. As it happened, nothing more was done about the tests. I have no idea what they indicated, and I was left alone by the professionals. I'm really grateful that nothing was done at that stage and that I wasn't brought into the psychiatric world. I do not know what the result would have been if I had been heavily medicated at that stage in my life. I began work in 1967 and I really enjoyed my job. I worked in a bookshop and I found it very fulfilling. But my difficulties with arriving on time became an issue again. My boss asked me once if I was really happy working there. But it just seemed that the harder I tried to be organised and to get to work on time, the later I seemed to be. And now I know that this is very common for people with ADD. There was no talk in education at that time in my school of ADD or ADHD, and so no help was given at all. And even today in New Zealand, if you have a diagnosis for ADHD, the minute you turn 18, all help is revoked. You are no longer entitled to medication, and you are supposed to be instantly cured on the day that you turn 18. The biggest factor for ADD, without the H factor, is that of a hidden memory problem. We just can't seem to retain the information that we've been given. And it's very hard to organise ourselves forward to remember things that we need to do, and especially appointments. And I'm quite sure that there are many others like myself who have made their way through to adulthood, we're not quite sure how, who have this hidden problem and were never diagnosed with ADD. So why am I telling you my story? There are 3 reasons, all of which I've forgotten. One reason is that it's very important to have a proper diagnosis. Without a clinical diagnosis, you do not have access to medications which may still help you even as an adult. But I'm sure there are many others like me in the community who grew up never knowing what was wrong. They've gone through life as if they had one hand tied behind their back. But there really was a reason for life not being as fulfilling and satisfying and productive as they had always dreamed it would be. The second reason is that just knowing you have ADD isn't enough. There are medications available, but only if you are properly diagnosed. The third reason for sharing my story is to tell you that I'm going to start a support group for people just like myself. There are things that we can learn to do to make our lives better, but keeping on is one of the major problems with ADD. Sustaining effort is really, really difficult. But I believe that if we get together to support one another, we can make a difference to each other's lives. We've all learned many coping mechanisms, not realising that's what we were doing. And the main one that I've found is that working together motivates and supports me. And really, I'm looking for you to come and help me. But hopefully we can help each other. The name of my group is going to be Addition, or I should say the name of our group is going to be Addition, and you can contact me by email at addition@paradise.net.nz. I also have a brochure which you are welcome to have, which I will mail to you if you email me, or you can contact me by telephone on 03 98 00 983. I look forward to meeting you.